They showed up in my house. Yeah, they bullied me. They were sitting there. I didn't want to let them in. They told me they would come back with the cops and it would make things worse if I didn't let them in. And I didn't really have a choice. My kids were all sitting right there. Scared the crap out of them. So I had to let them in. And then they told me about the letter. They wouldn't tell me who had sent it. They said a report was filed and they need to come in and talk to me, and I didn't have a choice. I needed to let them in. At that point, they were saying it was abuse. My daughter didn't get her own way, so she was pissed and went to the guidance department, claimed that I choked her and hit her and pinned her up against the wall, and no bruises or anything, and just one thing after another. The school is the one that filed the forms. The school even checked before they even sent them home. They got sent to the nurse's office to look for marks and bruises, and they had none. The other children did not confirm the story. They supported it without fully investigating. They had their minds made up. They were judging me just because of the stories of her. And I was afraid they were going to take the kids. They were going to ruin my reputation with all these lies. They won't completely investigate different things. And they don't care about falsifying documents and telling what their truth is, even though they're not even here and have no clue who you are. I was not eating very well, was not really sleeping. I was pretty much on autopilot, feeding the kids, getting the kids doing what they were doing. I kind of honestly probably wasn't even thinking clearly at that point. The kids would have been the one that suffered. The other kids didn't. That would have crushed them. Would have crushed me. That's my world. My world revolves around them. I had no choice. I had to get a lawyer whether I could afford one or not. I went online, I read reviews, I talked to a couple different lawyers, and I chose the one that I thought was going to fight for me. It was less stress because Attorney Seaver basically took all the calls from them and all the threatening and the harassing and you got to do this or this is going to happen. He told me what the meeting was going to be for, what they were looking for, how I should be. Even when I lose my temper and start not being so nice to them, kind of reined me in a little bit and settled me down. Well, they did try to get me to sign all these different releases and even releases that I thought I had already signed, which apparently they didn't have a copy of, and even blank releases they wanted me to sign, and I refused to sign them. And then when I got Attorney Seaver, he kind of no, you don't sign that, you don't sign that. Kind of let me know what my rights were because I didn't know what they were, and DCF was not telling me what my rights were. Once I kind of let Attorney Seaver kind of take control and I stepped back and actually followed his advice, it was actually pretty easy. It was easy just following what he had to say, the plans, the put everything in writing, the don't talk to them, the you need to do this or this is going to happen with your kids. Well, Attorney Seaver always seemed to have a plan, whether I wanted to admit it or follow it. Basically, my goals were to keep my kids in my life and in my home and get DCF out of my life. And yeah, there were some challenges, and yeah, I didn't always, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't always trust him to be able to follow his advice. But he, even still, even when I was not so nice to him because I was frustrated with DCF, he still showed up. He was still here. He still did what he said he was going to do. I will say I'm not an easy person to deal with. And Therefore, my my attitude and my mouth seems to always go before my mind. And Attorney Seaver, I'm sure got frustrated with it, but he was always showing up, still fighting with DCF, still protecting my rights, still trying to keep my kids here. Probably hire Attorney Seaver because it was honestly the weight, the stress off your shoulders, not having to answer the call from DCF when they try to call and harass you. You can just delete the messages when you don't answer the phone and you send it to voicemail and let him just basically field all that crap for you. If somebody got the call or DCF just showed up at their house like I did, I would say call Attorney Seaver. I have actually given Attorney Seaver name to somebody else that I just got in contact with that is in need of a lawyer. Plus, the fee for the services is nothing compared to, I don't want to say peace because you're not really actually at peace with them in your life, but it's more peace than when you have to deal with them calling you every day or every hour or whenever they decide that they want to. If it's peace of mind and you get to keep your kids, you can't really put a price on being able to keep your kids and getting them out of your life with the least amount of stress possible. Attorney Seaver over delivered every time. My kids are still here. Absolutely, my money was well spent. Attorney Seaver is the best DCF lawyer in Massachusetts.